So today on the Make Shooter 2018 YouTube channel, we are ripping off Play-Doh We're coming up with phony Thomas. We're coming up with phony Thomas stories. Like obviously, this video is very much inspired
Phony baloney.
by Play-Doh Pause's.
Inspired is a
rewrote.
strong word. We just stole it, you know?
Shut up. Alright, the rules are simple. Two characters, two locations, two objects of interest. You get like from Troublesome Trucks to Chinese Dragon to like a severed hand. Anywho.
Incredible. Percy and Henry.
Alright, I can work with that.
Percy and Henry, okay.
Knapford Harbor? RWS Knapford Harbor specifically.
Alright.
And Tidmouth.
Okay.
And for objects, we have... fish and the Sodor Hurricane.
The Sodor Hurricane. Alright,
now you gotta do with the... you have to do it on the spot, you can think about it for a little.
Alright, let me think. Alright, I'll just try to do it on the spot. Maybe that'll work.
Alright, go ahead.
So, we start off over at fucking Railway Sears Knapford Harbor, right? And Henry is just chilling, just fucking like about to pull the kipper like a good string or so, or maybe he's back from the kipper. And Percy comes up to him and says, "Hey, you know, you kind of smell like fish." And Henry says, "Yeah, that's kind of obvious, Percy. You know, this is a Hidera episode. He's really stupid." And fucking Percy keeps making fun of him while Henry's just kind of sitting there just annoyed. So Henry goes off to fucking Tidmouth to like, you know, go to bed or sleep or something. And fucking then Percy tries to sneak up on him by just delivering a van full of fish right in front of his berth. When Henry wakes up, he sees the fish and just like rams it off the rails. Obviously he gets scooted by the fat controller, but that's not important right now. And then fucking like a couple days later, Percy's sitting over at fucking Tidmouth yet again, and he hears on the radio at like fucking, you know, Tidmouth station that there is a hurricane coming to Sodor, and that everyone should like get to shelter. So Percy was traveling back to the Tidmouth sheds, but Henry fucking like snuck up on him and just dragged him as far away from Tidmouth as he could, and then ran, leaving Percy stranded. Then the fucking hurricane hit, and Percy was just like screaming for dear life. But in the end, Henry fucking like realized, hey, wait, that's kind of a dick move, and rescues Percy. And Percy's like, man, I should not make fun of you anymore. The end.
God bless, I think.
Toby and Edward are chilling at Grey Waterton. They catch news that the joy and whimsy of the town is leaving, kind of. And like and Toby's like, why is it leaving? And like one of the like town locals say, oh, we're running out of bubble liquid. Kids are bored out of the mind. And they're like, ah, and like Edward's like, oh shit, we must go to the Sodor bubble factory. And then Toby's like, sure thing, Edward. And they start like heading over there. They arrive at the Sodor bubble factory. And Mr. Bubbles, the main guy, he pulls up into his office. He's like, hey, Toby. Here to collect some bubbles. Like, and Edward's like, yes, we are, Mr. Bubbles. I can't wait to collect the bubbles. We need to save Great Waterton. And he's like, yeah, sure, kid. And like, he loads up 2 tankers for both of them to take. And then they're chuffing back, heading toward Great Waterton. Toby catches a whiff of these tankers. Edward, this smells a bit funny. And Edward's like, don't worry about it, Toby. Mr. Bubbles is a trustworthy man. Alright, they arrive back at Great Waterton. The kids have their bubbles, but Toby's hunch was correct. Something's wrong. But the bubble liquid wasn't actually bubble liquid at all. It was isopropyl alcohol dipped in paper. Don't know how that's bad, but it is. The whole town is on fire. And then Edward's like, oh god, I should have listened. And then Toby looks directly at Edward. Edward? Did we leave the fridge on? The end.
So, it's hunting season on the island of Sodor.
Okay, amazing start.
It is also, like, probably a heat wave. It's hot out. It's the gist of it. Ice cream production is on full swing. Mr. Bubbles has come out with a new ice cream.
Okay.
What's it called?
What flavor?
Bubble ice
Fucking
cream.
bubblegum. I don't fucking know.
Oh god.
Duck is tasked
Like
with
a-
taking the ice cream across the island.
Uh-huh.
He has some issues. His bright green pink, despite being bright green, is a little discoloring for the hunters. So there have been some incidents with Duck being shot at. Call that a duck hunt. Anyway, Duck finally gets to the ice cream factory. Mr. Bubbles is there. He's like, "Oh, Duck, please get the ice cream to not fit quickly. The children are waiting for it." Duck goes along. He passes over the suspension bridge. Down in the valley, he hears a gunshot from a deer being shot by a hunter. It echoes through the valley. It scares the shit out of Duck. He thinks he's being shot at again. He bumps the trucks. The ice cream, due to being on a conflict or some bullshit, topples over from being bumped over the suspension bridge. And Duck's like, "Oh dear, what am I gonna fucking do?" So, Duck goes back. He gets this time, Mr. Bubbles, I lost your ice cream after being shot at. I don't think this could work with another conflict. And Mr. Bubbles is like, "Oh, what do you think? I guess we're doing bands now." And he goes over again. Bang! And more deer being shot. He shits himself again. Bumps the van. Nothing happens this time. He fucking rushes over. He goes fast. And then he fucking skids to a halt and nappered, I guess. I don't know how to cap off the story.
Perfect.
Moral of the story, don't use conflats for everything. It was adoption season on the island.
Oh my god.
You can't just reuse the same
No,
one.
it's
I
perfect.
can, I will. It was adoption season on the island of Sodor, and Mr. Percival was running the railway. Because the fat
whole
fuck.
one?
Yeah, the whole railway. The fat controller was on like a business trip in Colombia or something. He's meeting Julio in Brazil. So Mr. Percival is in charge of the railway, and he's realized something. He doesn't have his Flintstone gummies. He's lost them. So he scrambles out of his office, looking for anyone to get him to the coal mines, the last place where he was at. He spots Thomas T. Tank Engine. He rushes over. "Thomas, I need you to take me to the coal mines. But first, get some coaches. We need to go to the adoption center first.
What?
Just do it."
Oh no.
Thomas does as he's told by Mr. Percival. They go to the adoption center. They
I don't like
They
this
pull
is
up at
going.
the adoption center. Mr. Percival rushes in. He comes out with a school load of children.
Sure,
And he
it's
says,
adoption
"Thomas,
season."
my Flintstone gummies are in the coal mines. What else? And you know what's really in with the children these days? Minecraft. Thomas, the children yearn for the mines. They have to retrieve my Flintstone gummies. So Thomas, with a lot on his mind now, takes Mr. Percival and the children to the coal mines where Percy once got buried.
What are you doing, crack? What the fuck?
And he stops. He watches the children scramble out, screaming with glee. They yearn for the mines. Mr. Percival guides them into the mine shaft with the explicit Explicit
Instruction?
goal. Explicit instruction and goal to get him his vitamin gummies.
Yeah.
Thomas stands outside with bated breath. He looks inside the mine. He's like standing in front of the entrance. He hears like clunking and clanking and falling rocks inside, echoing. And then it happens. A child runs out, clutching Mr. Flintstone, clutching Fred Flintstone in his hand. I found them! I found the vitamins! And then suddenly, he slips. The vitamin gummies fall out of his hand directly into Mr. Percival's. And then it happens. It's collapsing! Thomas screams. Mr. Percival jumps in Thomas. He rushes back. He hears an almighty thud and an almighty crash as the mine collapses, with most of the children still inside.
Oh,
But it doesn't matter. He got his vitamin gummies. All is well in the world.